Hello, it's system overview time, and today I'm going to show you the Amstrad GX4000. This is a consoleized Amstrad CPC464 Plus, basically. Commodore did it with the Commodore 64 when they made the 64 GS. Atari did it when they made the XE GS. This is Amstrad taking the 464 Plus and sticking it in a cartridge-based console. You've got your pretty much standard 9-pin Joypad inputs there. That, I believe, is a serial port, might be a parallel port, not sure. Some kind of network input thing there. Headphone socket, on the back here, SCART output. I don't know what that switch is. I'm pretty sure it's not. Is it an on-off? Don't know. No, it's not. It's probably the video channel. RF output there. Monitor output there. Two power supply inputs. One is if you were powering it off of the standard power supply, like that. The other, because Amstrad were weird and liked to power their computers off of their monitors. So one of those is if you wanted to power this off of a monitor, and I imagine it would be the same monitor you would use for the 464 Plus. So what can I tell you about this? It is an 8-bit console. It has kind of custom graphics hardware, largely the same as the CPC464, but with more colours, like on the 464 Plus. In terms of power, what is it comparable to? I would say it compares very well with the PC Engine, which was kind of similar. That was 8-bit, but with some fancy other bits in there. I don't think the extra hardware in here is 16-bit. But anyway, it is about that level of power. These bombed, basically. Sales-wise, it did very badly. Largely because it was coming into a market that was 8-bit was already saturated. Nintendo and Sega had got the Master System, and the NES were, the market was full of their software. You had the 8-bit computers already were filling the market. The ST and the Amiga were out already. The Mega Drive was 2, maybe 3 months away from release when this came out. This was £99 compared to, I think it was £189 that the Mega Drive came out at. But when faced with an 8-bit console like this and a Mega Drive sharing shelf space, and they did share shelf space. I remember Tandy's having these and C64 GS's and Mega Drives all on the same shelf. What were you going to do? You weren't going to buy one of these. You just weren't. The other thing was software. The software developers basically, it was shovelware. They dumped their CPC464 games that you could pick up for a £5 onto this on cartridges that they sold for £30. Ocean were notorious for doing that. You just weren't going to buy a £5 game on a £30 cartridge. So they didn't sell. Probably the only people who bought them were parents buying them for their kids, like little Bobby wanted a Mega Drive, but this was £100 cheaper. So, you know, he's stupid, he won't know any better, we'll give him one of these. Well, little Bobby looked at it and thought, that's a piece of shit, threw it in the cupboard and never bought any games for it. So while you can pick these up for £25 boxed on eBay, maximum £50 if there's like a dry patch on eBay where there aren't many of them about. You might see one go for 50 quid. You'll see some people trying to put them on buy it now for a stupid price. They will be thinking because games for it are expensive, the console must be expensive, and they'll put a high buy it now on it. Don't be fooled. They're not worth it. 25 quid boxed. That's a fair price. Games for it are expensive. Some of them are stupidly expensive, and that's because while 1 or 2 people were unfortunate enough to find themselves with one of these, they weren't dumb enough to spend £30 on a piece of crap cartridge that they could have bought for £5 on tape. So the software is rare, and you will pay through the nose for it now. some people do. Some people will spend a lot of money on the games for it because they're collectors and they want it all. But they're crap games. And if you're buying to collect, fine. If you're buying because you want to play the games, God, find something else to collect for. You don't want the games for this. I've got 3 games. I've got videos. I'll link to the playlist down there somewhere, or put an annotation in there. It's an interesting machine to have as a collector's item. In itself, it's not valuable. It would have been good had it been released at the price that it was 2 years earlier, even 1 year earlier, and if there had been good software support that took advantage of the extra hardware that did lift it a step above the 464. But that didn't happen, so it bombed. Shame, because it looks nice. There was an Amstrad advert where they completely played on the looks of the thing, and it had this flying through space like it's a spaceship. Naff, but it was... They got one thing right, and that was that it looks nice. But that's the only thing they got right. Too little, too late, bombed. So, that is the Amstrad GX4000 8-bit games console. While I think of it, because I forgot to show you, that's the Joypad. Very similar to a NES pad really, or a PC Engine pad in fact. Typical D-pad, it's a bit stiff, bit wooden, buttons are... It's just what you would expect really. Standard, basic, does the job, not especially nice, not especially comfortable in the hand, but does the job. Right. So that's the Amstrad GX4000. Thank you for watching.